Pause whatever you're doing. We've got something special for you. Mute your notifications for the next 40 minutes, because here you'll see the best acts of kindness and true karma. Let's go.
Let's start with a video where a little girl didn't want to celebrate her birthday because she didn't get the gift she had been waiting for. But when her mom placed a bowl on the table, she was surprised. Then guests gave her dog toys, and when she stepped outside, she finally saw the puppies she had dreamed of. The delivery man drops a package in front of a father and his son. Inside is a broken tablet. The courier apologizes, but the father is still angry. The son puts his identical tablet in the box, takes the broken one, and calls his father to check. An exhausted store worker falls, spilling groceries, but instead of helping her, people ignore and mock her. Then a customer with a dog notices her crying and decides to help. A boy looked at toys with a sad expression, clearly wanting them. Meanwhile, a security guard watched him and quietly collected each toy he liked. In the end, as the boy was about to leave the store, the guard handed him a basket full of toys. The young couple decided to buy clothes for a homeless man while he was sleeping. They measured his size, brought him new clothes, and when he woke up, he was very happy. A homeless man on the street was entertaining a little girl who was dining with her family at a restaurant. When her parents noticed, their mood lifted too, and they invited him to eat with them. This smart dog has been helping a girl with a severe illness since her birth, assisting her in moving in a wheelchair and bringing her whatever she needs. The boy refused to eat and threw his plate. His mother was frustrated, but a restaurant worker stepped in to help. He sat next to them, took a toy the mother had thrown, and pretended to feed it, then handed the plate back to the mother, and the child ate everything. While a man was eating, a young guy accidentally dropped a ball right onto his food. The man stood up angrily but suddenly started playing basketball with him. When a woman was pouring juice for herself and her husband, there wasn't enough for 2 full glasses, so she diluted hers with water. Her husband noticed, and when she brought the drinks, he switched them, leaving her the full juice and taking the diluted one for himself. The girl had serious health problems that caused her hair to fall out, but her parents took her to a talented hairdresser who gave her a new look, and the moment she saw her reflection in the mirror, a big smile appeared on her face. A little girl kept throwing her toys out of the stroller during a walk while her mom was busy on the phone, and a dog carefully picked them up and placed them back in the stroller. The boy was struggling to walk on crutches, so his mom picked him up, and the dog walking nearby started pretending to have a broken leg to support him. A boy in the supermarket started throwing groceries around and having a tantrum, but his mom couldn't calm him down, so a nearby store employee decided to dress up as Spider-Man to cheer him up. A boy wanted his mom to take a picture of him next to a car but got scared when the driver lowered the roof. Then the driver stepped out and let the boy sit inside. A girl in a grocery store was knocking all the products off the shelves. The worker tried to get her mother's attention, but she just walked away, ignoring him. At the checkout, it turned out that the mother didn't have enough money to pay for the child's sweets. The worker came back and paid for them. After that, the girl ran to pick up the scattered items. How a first-time mom feeds her baby, carefully prepares a beautiful meal, trying to make it look delicious and appealing, versus a mom of 3. The child refuses to eat. The mom tries to feed them with a spoon, drops it, picks it up, and still feeds them anyway, just to get it done. When dad is busy, The kids run to play with him instead of mom, but she pulls them away so they don't disturb him. Yet when mom is busy, they run to her instead of dad. The kids keep bothering their mom while she works on her laptop. Then they say they're hungry, so she goes to the kitchen. She serves them food, but they start throwing it at her, so she decides to take them outside, where a neighbor passing by sits down and starts playing with them. The boy didn't want to sleep in the playpen, so the dog helped him escape. Then he happily ran to his parents' room to sleep there. A boy called the police to his house because he wanted to join the force.
Good day, Mum.
Oh my goodness, okay.
Have you called the police?
No, I haven't, but have you?
I'm sorry, but
Why have you called the police?
I wanted to be a part of the police. I have everything I need.
Oh.
Can I show you something, please?
Of course you can, little fella.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Mum. Hey, little fella, you've got all the uniform and everything, and even a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, please take me with you. I have everything I need.
How old are you?
7.
You're a little bit too young for the police just yet, but you look smart,
Oh, thank you.
and you've got a very shiny badge on your hat. Maybe give us a call when you're 18, but in the meantime, you can't go calling 911 unless it's an emergency, right, Mum?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
A girl in a restaurant was mocking the waiter while her mom watched indifferently, until a grandfather at the next table decided to step in. A girl was filming a video next to her scooter, obliviously blocking the way for a man in a wheelchair, but a passerby woman decided to teach her a lesson with a toy snake. A girl in a restaurant was throwing food while her mom couldn't control her. The waiter wanted to kick them out, but a man sitting nearby decided to stand up for the mom. In a movie theater, a boy pushed a woman, causing her to spill her popcorn, and his parents couldn't do anything about it. A man in a red car took another man's parking spot, but the other man didn't back down and, with his girlfriend's help, decided to teach him a lesson. A boy was struggling with his homework and getting too nervous, but a passing grandmother stopped to help him solve the problem. A girl was watching cartoons instead of studying, but her clever dog made her do her homework. The kids in the classroom were making too much noise, and the teacher was desperately trying to calm them down, completely forgetting that it was her birthday today. Her father forbade her from playing on the tablet at night, but she kept doing it until she finally got caught. This boy came to school dressed in pink, and all the boys in class laughed at him, but the teacher stood up for him.
It stopped just behind us.
What?
He's coming over.
Hey girls, it's yours?
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
This boy didn't want to eat his spaghetti, so he dumped it into the dog's bowl. His grandma, surprised at how quickly he finished, gave him another serving. He did the same thing, emptying it into the dog's bowl again. Grandma looked surprised once more and gave him a hug. Do you think she noticed this time?
Hey, you stole my sport.
You snooze, you lose.
kindness starts young, and so do life's lessons. In a kindergarten, little ones learn more than just ABCs. They're mastering the art of respect on a bus. Offering a seat or a helping hand might seem small, but it's actually huge. Don't you think it's awesome when someone's got your back, especially when you least expect it? Isn't this the world we all wish to see, where kindness is the first lesson learned?
us know in the comments which moment you like the most, and if you want to see more videos, click the pop-up on the screen.